you're gonna fix it by getting inside me in a way that's like really impressive. Not like the old covenant, the covenant which we broke. So anyway, so you go 604 years, and of course you come to Jesus Christ. And Jesus comes on the scene, and he starts talking about the kingdom. Talks in many ways, but what he starts saying in a nutshell is the kingdom within. And there's that word again, within, within. And Jesus had a number of ways to teach. One was he would just like Matthew 5, 6, 7, the Sermon on the Mount type of thing, and he would just teach. And people would maybe get in the boat and push off, and he'd do some teaching, and people going, wow, yeah, that's just amazing. Then other times Jesus would walk out into the crowd, and he would demonstrate. And somebody would have a demon or something, and he would cast out the demon, and they'd go, wow, did you see that? And he would say, don't say, wow, did you see that? If by the finger of God I cast out that demon, then know the kingdom of heaven has come upon you. And so, literally, if by the finger of God I cast out that demon. So that's a show me for what's happening. The kingdom of God is coming upon you. It's a demonstration of the gospel. Deliverance, salvation, rescue, redemption. Yeah, it's an experience that you have seen with your life. It's an amazing kind of thing. That's the second way he would teach, kind of walk into the crowd thing. Third way he would teach is through his stories, through his sort of show-me's, his illustrations, his parables. And Jesus would say, look, I want to explain how the kingdom's going to work. And if you turn to Matthew chapter 13, you will get a series of parables of the kingdom. And Jesus would say, they would say, I'm trying to understand this kingdom within thing. I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about. Tell me kind of like, what are you saying? Well, I can cast out the demon if I finger God out, then you'll see. Yeah, I know, but can you paint me a picture? And so if you looked at Matthew 13 and verse 44, it says, he said, okay, well, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and covered up. Then in his joy, he goes and sells all that he has and buys the field. That's interesting. I like a treasure. Yeah, like something you want. No, if you were to find a treasure in your backyard, left over from who knows what power, but you open that thing up and you had lots of gold coins and interesting stuff in there, you don't need to have somebody tell you, you know what you ought to do? You know, you ought to take that treasure. You really should. You ought to take that treasure and keep it. Yeah. No, you don't need a bony finger telling you ought to. You're going to do what you want to do. You would be very excited. I found a treasure. Wow, that's something I want. And Jesus would say, that's what the kingdom of heaven is going to be like. A want, a wanna, a desire. People are saying, I'm starting to get it, but I'm a little confused. Can you give me another? Okay, kingdom of heaven's like a merchant in search of fine pearls, who on finding one pearl of great value went and sold all that he had and bought it. Okay, let's say you were a pearl merchant, and you were out there in your John boat. You looked down at this oyster bed, and it had one oyster with a pearl size of a golf ball cocked out of the side of its mouth, well, those oysters have shells. And you don't need somebody to say, you know, you ought to reach over the side of that boat and grab that thing. Look at that rascal. You know, you would jump in, probably cut your feet up, get into the pearl. Why? Because I want the pearl. You see the size of that thing. It's incredible. Jesus is saying, that's like the kingdom. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a wanna. We do what we want to do. Like I know you want treasures. Like I know you want fine pearls. Like I want. People start saying, wow, that's amazing. What does that mean? What if I kind of want them, but it's just not all that much yet? And does that mean I'm a goat and everybody else is a sheep? What's that? How does that think? Let's do another. He said, the kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed that a man took and sowed in his field. It's the smallest of all seeds, but when it is grown, it's larger than the garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and make nests in its branches. What Jesus is saying, then look, this new wanna, this new desire may start small. It may be like a mustard seed. You know, particularly talking about stewardship. Now, you know, I kind of want to give what I think I ought to give. I'm thinking just a little bit better is what I'm thinking. It's kind of like a mustard seed. But if you'll just leave it there and nurture it and watch, it will grow beyond your wildest dreams. Your heart, your new heart, written on your heart, kingdom within, the wanna, a new wanna. It's going to come like a tree. The birds of the air come and make nests in its branches. And this thing can get really, really wild. It's called transform life. Just transformation. But anyway. And so people say, gosh, that's kind of so. Something I want like treasures, yeah. something that kind of I want, like pearls, yeah. May start small, yeah. Got one, maybe one more, help me understand this kingdom within thing. He said, okay, kingdom of heaven